other thing that I did this week, and I know you did this week, and we need to talk about this, is we watched the finale of Skeleton Crew. What did you think?
I thought it was really fun. I thought that it was displaying something that Star Wars really does better than anyone. And of course, we know the visual effects. So I'm not talking about that, but that is as
Mm,
well. But just a multi tiered, fun action adventure set piece was really cool. How they brought it together. I think that they are looking to see what the reception is to this series because it really seems like they could reintroduce a lot of these characters in the new movies, perhaps, or other shows or whatnot. So I thought it was good. I thought it was enjoyable. It's not my favorite. No, I have, but it introduces something into the lore that doesn't exactly break anything, and we don't really have to explore it right now. But it is an interesting thing that's out there with at Atten now that it's basically just a planet once again. Because the spoiler alert, the protective barrier of the planet gets gone. That way, the Owl Lady can call the X-wings in. Not quite sure what that is about per se. Whatever, she's got New Republic connections, and
mhm.
so there we go. The X-wings come and they help the skeleton crew or whatever you want to call the kids. So
I
yeah, I thought it was good.
I feel like there's a whole story continuing on with this planet finding out that the old republic was destroyed, there was a galactic empire, and then that was defeated by the new republic.
Hmm.
Like, they don't know any of this. They've been living on this
No,
isolated planet, working towards this great work with apparently very minimal outside communication, and then
being like ruled and controlled by a computer,
yeah, and then
you know?
what happened on those other planets? Those other
Yeah.
Aten planets, like the one with the kids who are all warriors and fighting each other, and it's, "Oh, like, maybe someone should go help them," and what was their purpose originally, and I don't think they were all just making credits, like, they probably all had different purposes,
Mhm.
and they said there was, what, 4 or 5 of those planets? I don't
Right.
remember how many they said exactly, so there's stories they can explore right there. It opened up a whole new avenue, and it is not connected to the Skywalker saga at all, which is even better, and yeah, I think my favorite part of the whole episode and I feel like I can't remember who wrote the series, but I
Wasn't
feel
there a
like
couple different? Because like
well,
Bryce
I
Howell.
meant the main, not
Oh, I got you.
the showrunner. I feel like I can look that up over while I'm talking, that he must be somebody who grew up on Star Wars and is a father now, because the scene where Wim not Wim, is it Wim? Yeah, Wim runs off from his dad and gets on the hover bike, and he's gonna go off with his friends to go save the planet, and the dad, like, runs after him, and he jumps on a hover bike, and then he's going with him, and then they make that jump, and he's, "Woo, this is great." I'm like, "Yes." He's like us Gen Xers now experience Star Wars in real life, and it was like, yeah, that was great. That was, like, the best part. Thrawn! "Evening, gents. You're only addicted to TikTok if you downloaded it." Yes,
Uh,
agreed.
what I will say, and I don't know if you can call this a complaint of the show or whatever, but those pirates, because when you're talking about that scene, they're on their little motorbikes, which is cool. Their bicycles are basically what they're
Mhm.
using to do this. But the whole like bicycles versus like speeder with the turret on it, shooting at them and missing repeat, like those pirates are worse than stormtroopers by far, like with shooting the kids. So again, I don't know if I can say that as a complaint, but those pirates suck. Like they should have blasted
So
those kids.
John Watson, Christopher Ford are the creators of the show, by the way. So what your complaint is not enough dead kids? Is that
I sure, I guess one could interpret it that way. That my complaint is that there are not enough dead children in the episode.
that's
I
dark.
just don't
That's
know
dark.
how realistic it is. But what I'm saying is just it's not realistic. Just say you've got like a Humvee with a turret on the back chasing like kids on tricycles. You just it wouldn't end well. And so in this, I just it's a little I that's all. I'm glad they made it through it because it's a lighthearted show and series, and I have nothing against that. But I'm just saying the whole pirates repeatedly missing the children on the toy bikes while they're in a battle hardened speeder. It's a little much.
But
There is the force. So listen, still a
see,
little much. It's still, there's wiggle room. I get it.
apparently you were sympathetic to Anakin Skywalker after
I
he
was
becomes
not.
Darth Vader and
Not
kills
at
all the
all.
younglings. I
Ooh,
see.
nope,
I
not at
I
all.
understand.
Nope, we're not gonna screen crush it. We're not gonna be like which funny story. So Screen Crush had these Anakin Skywalker shirts, and one of them was like Anakin Skywalker, and it was making fun of the fact that he killed children. We complained about it, me and J100 on Omega Level Nerds, my old
Uh-huh.
podcast, and then they took it off their store. So funny
Ah.
story there. So I am not an Anakin killing children sympathizer. Let's be clear.
Okay. All right. All right. And then I think the only my only complaint is I was hoping Jude Law's character was going to turn around and be the good guy at the end, but no, he was just a pirate who was force sensitive, but and
Yeah, obviously. You didn't think though that was interesting though. I don't know. I felt for his character because he's yeah. I was came across this Jedi and she was like
yeah.
training me and showing me shit, and then I just watched the world fucking kill her, and they made me watch. Like it made me sympathetic to the character, but
No,
right, he didn't fully
I didn't
turn.
say that, but yeah, I was hoping that he was gonna be the hero at the end, but obviously not. It's the kids, and the ending was well written. All the kids are involved. They all have a part to play. It's not like one comes out. It's not Fern or Wim come out as the main hero of the show. They all work
Yeah,
together. Even Neil gets to fire a big cannon at the ship. It's great, but they do leave Jod hanging at the end too. I don't think his story's done. I think he will return.
I think if he trends well, he'll return. I think they leave it open.
Thrawn says not all Navy SEALs retire and become good guys.
I
Wait,
know.
Jude Law, a Navy SEAL? I thought his character was a pirate, so I don't know. So yeah, I definitely hope we see more of these guys going forward. They got to do something quickly because kids grow up fast. While they're still cute, you got to get them in something else. Do you guys think this is from Kassan? Do you guys think Skeleton Crew will have an impact on Star Wars? Everyone seems apathetic to the show. Everyone? Apathetic? I don't know about that. Oh, he's a sealed woman. Okay. I think so. I think Jod is gonna come back. I think the at whatever the other names were, I can't remember off the top of my head. I think those planets, yeah, they have to explain why those planets existed and why they got forgotten about. And it might just be a line in the next Mandalorian or Ahsoka season 2, which I did see an article. I didn't include it. They are working on Ahsoka season 2, so it could just be a quick line talking about them, but I think they'll be back. I think Jod will be back because if they start exploring Luke rebuilding the Jedi, which is, I think, a storyline people want to see. I think he's going to try because he's rebuilding the Jedi Temple. We saw that in The Mandalorian. He's going to
It
start
could have
looking for.
something to do with the Kylo Ren shit. It
Yes.
goes down between Kylo Ren and or whatever Ben and Luke, and he might be one of the dudes that gets yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's the whole thing. I think Jod will see him come back in that respect some way. So,
I'm 50-50 on whether or not this will actually affect the greater Star Wars universe as a whole. I think if it tracks, if we like demand, like Dave is saying, if Dave is one of many that want to see the Jude Law character return, I definitely could see them doing something. It's just in the weird era between Return of the Jedi and the sequels where the Mandalorian is, where it's the New Republic because we had the New Republic in this show
yeah.
and we already know what happens to that. So it's really in a weird place because if they're going to move on with the next sequel trilogy focused again on Ray, I don't want to say more on Ray. It could be something that just in the end we're apathetic to. And I'm okay with that personally. I'm okay with them just saying, "Hey, here's a Star Wars show, and there's your story."
Yeah.
But in this universe, they have not shown that they're going to do that. Look at the demand for Ezra Bridger, returning from Rebels, and poof, there he is. Characters coming back that we never thought we'd see again in the Star Wars universe. So you never know.
Fenced or be a separate production entirely. Yeah, I don't know. I think I don't know. I guess we'll have to, like I haven't looked at reviews or anything for the show overall. I'll look at some of those. I think it did well. Everyone I know Okay, let's put it this way. Everyone I know that's in my age range that grew up with Star Wars who watched this love this show. Does that mean that they're gonna make a show to appeal to middle-aged Star Wars fans? Probably not, but
They
I don't know
shouldn't.
how
I mean, a
yeah,
little bit, give us a little something, but
I
get
don't
the
know how
kids.
yeah, like my son's 22 and he hasn't watched it yet, so I don't know how he feels about it.
And I don't think 20 and 30-year-olds get into Star Wars. I think young kids do,
Yeah.
and us old folks that got into it when we were kids,
Oh, he
you
loved
know?
the it's funny, he loved the prequel stuff and what you call it, the Clone Wars. Like, that was
Okay,
his Star
right.
Wars, when he was a kid, and he's been Obi-Wan for Halloween and all those things, but
Okay.
yeah, but he's
Now
grown
he's
out
not
of
into
it.
it anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, so, not as into it as I am, that is.
Because we
Well
just have that nostalgia. We were there when just every fucking thing was Star Wars. It was just such a I think literally Star Wars is literally the first movie with an actual soundtrack to it. I could be wrong with that, but I remember that kind of being a thing. I remember my grandparents had the album, the big fucking album, Star Wars album, John Williams, which we still had. Be great. But
wow. Thrawn says, "The average age of the current baseball fan is 65. What do you think the medium age of a Star Wars fan is?"
okay, nice. Dave, go first.
I don't know if Thrawn has the answer.
I'm assuming it does.
I would guess the medium age of a Star Wars fan, because I do think there's young Star Wars fans. So
Sure.
I'll say 35.
35, 35. I'm going to say 41. So, Thrawn, you got a survey says you got us, buddy, or we just waste everyone's time?
65 is interesting because you could look at that and say only old people watch baseball anymore. But I think at the same time, that's medium age. So that's saying that there's people that are. Oh, Thrawn did have an answer.
Oh, okay. You know what? And I should have said that.
47.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I've well,
Okay.
because of all the youngins that do like it, your son getting into,
And but no, but
Mandalorian brought
he he's got a point. But, like, I met a guy funny, the same job where I worked with John that just was hit this age where he did not watch Star Wars. He didn't he's one of the only person I've ever met that came out and said he didn't like Star Wars. And we were like, "Did have you watched it?" And he's like, "Yeah." And it was funny because one of his issues was and he was just at an age where Star Wars wasn't a thing when he was a kid, right? It was that dry period between the end of the original saga and the prequel.
yeah.
So there was no Star Wars other than us reading books and playing the couple video games that came out, but there were no movies, there were no big TV shows that everyone was watching related to Star Wars. It was a dry period. So he had no nostalgia towards it. So when the new movies, the prequels came out, he just, he had no interest in seeing them and he said it looked too fake to him because there was too much CGI in those movies.
Sure.
So yeah, none of those people, not none of them, but I think a lot of those people aren't Star Wars fans. Yeah, I mean, 47 makes sense because it's the end of the baby boomers and the Gen Xers. That's when Star Wars came out, and we're the ones who were kids and grew up with it. So it makes sense. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, believe it or not, the first movie had already come out before I was born. Actually, it was the first two. But I was actually my grandmother did actually take me into the theater for Return of the Jedi, but we got kicked out because I was a baby and we were crying and I was crying. I wasn't a baby. I was like
Wait. Okay. So Jedi was 83. I was 9. So I was 3 when the first one came out. So I did not see the first one in the theater. The first movie I remember, and I've talked about this many times. The first movie I really remember going to the theater and seeing and like it being an experience was Empire Strikes Back. So yeah. All right. I liked it. You liked it. If you haven't watched it, go check it out. It's a lot of fun. Skeleton Crew. And let us know what you think of the show in the comments below. Do you want to see Jude Law's character come back? Do you want to see the kids come back? Do you want to explore the story of Ad Atten and what's up with that place? And Thrawn said he only saw Jedi in the theater. Ah, that's sad. re-release them every once in a while. You can go see them all in the theater at some point. Thanks for watching this clip from the Superhero Speak podcast. And don't forget to watch us live every Sunday night right here on this channel.
While you're here, hit the subscribe button and click the bell for notifications so you won't miss out on any of our great upcoming content.
Speaking of content, don't forget to check out our website, superheroespeak.com, where you can find the podcast, links to our social media, merch, comic reviews, and so much more. That's superheroespeak.com.
Thanks for watching, and don't let your cape be caught in the door. See you next time.